Marcellus Wiley arrest has been all over the news, but this story just got much deeper, y'all. Check out this headline now. Now, his wife, Annemarie, reportedly says he threatened her. Not only did he threaten to kill her, as well as threatened to RAP her, you know what I'm saying, according to filings by per TMZ. Now, Wiley denies the physical altercation, and now we've got a case where the public is already choosing sides before this man has been convicted or the facts is in. Now, all right, before we get into opinions, debates, picking sides, any of that, here go the facts, and we're going to report what has been publicly reported per news sites and blog sites that have got the official documents. Now, we all know Marcellus Wiley is a former NFL Pro Bowler, longtime sportscaster. Got to give him his props, 51 years old, out of Compton, California. But on this 4th of July, just like a whole bunch of other people, found himself on the wrong side of the law with a domestic battery charge. Now, according to the arrest affidavits, deputies responded to the World Center Marriott in Orlando around 5 on Saturday, and Wiley and his family were there in Florida for a basketball tournament for their children. Probably some AAU stuff going on during the summer. You know, active sports parents stay busy. Now, according to the documents now, Wiley's wife, Annemarie Wiley, told deputies that she was afraid of her husband and wanted him removed from the hotel. She reportedly alleged that Wiley had threatened to kill her.
You see where I'm from, you don't do that.
You don't never threaten a woman. You don't put your hands on a woman. Let's just get that straight. I don't agree with that if it's true. Now, she also alleged that Wiley stood over her while she was sitting on a bed and used one finger to initially poke her in the cheek. He pulled the ghost move, y'all. He said, "I blame you." And they said that the 7-year-old daughter even witnessed this whole attack. Now, that's another strike on Marcellus. Not that dude, Marcellus Wiley. Now, Annemarie also reportedly told investigators there had been a previous history of violence that was never reported to law enforcement. Now, I don't agree with that. She planned to divorce Wiley after returning from the Florida trip. So you mean to tell me she took a trip with this man, even though he's a husband, planning on divorcing him, took a trip to Orlando, and then she got beat up? That's just crazy.
Use your common
All right, so now let's keep it going. Now, on the other side, right, Marcellus Wiley has denied any and all wrongdoing, any and all physical altercation. He has denied, but he was arrested over the weekend, held without bond, but we are now finding out that he was recently released. And Wiley even spoke his case to the deputies on the scene. He showed deputies text messages between the two of him and his wife, and even the deputy himself said all of the text messages appeared to be cordial in nature, and that based on from what he saw from the text messages, it didn't look like Wiley was really in the wrong. We don't know all that yet to be exact. We will find out. Also noted that there were no scars visible on him or his wife at the time of the arrest, according to the affidavit. And there were no direct witnesses who actually seen this thing. So
that's stupid, guys.
We're in a humdickle. But although all this is going on, Wiley was taken into custody and charged with domestic battery. You know, they always gonna take the woman's side in the beginning. You got to prove your case in the end. Now, like I said, he has posted bond, and Wiley hasn't came out public. I'm sure he's probably trying to lay low for a couple days and figure out with his legal team the best way to respond to all this, because he has a YouTube show, so he just can't go silent. You know what I'm saying? You can't just never go silent. Now you got to get out here and face these allegations head on. Can't run from the smoke, baby. When the smoke comes, it's some fire somewhere. And that brings us to the real conversation that I want to get into, because an arrest is not a conviction, and an allegation is not automatically a proven fact. But all this stuff is serious and cannot simply be brushed to the side. So let's just talk about it. But first, let's get into a news clip real quick.
Former NFL player and sports analyst Marcellus Wiley is locked up in the Orange County Jail tonight. Jail records show that Wiley was arrested Saturday on a charge of domestic battery. He's being held on no bond. We're working to get more information as to what led up to his arrest.
Finger upon the forehead. Now, if all of this is true, let's just keep it a buck. Marcellus Wiley deserves to be castrated and thrown in the lake.
And see, where I'm from, you don't do that.
Under no circumstances do you put your hand on a woman. You just can't do it. You're not going to win. You're not going to win in the court of law. You're not going to win in the street. You're not going to win by public opinion. You're just going to lose. Best thing you can do is walk away, get up out of there. You got to play the chump role for that day. That's just like if the police pull you over. There's no need for a bunch of yada, 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 tough talking. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I know my rights. Just fall back for a minute, dumb it down, comply, and just keep it moving. Be smart. Fight from the catbird seat. Don't fight from the back seat, if that makes sense. You dig what I'm saying? So, again, like I said, and the sad part about all this, I like Marcellus Wiley as a sports announcer, as a commentator. Was a pretty good football player. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm going to give me more props than that. He was a damn good football player. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, you know, it's just unexcusable. Like, you can't do things like this. You really can't even allow yourself to be put in a situation to get blasted like this. Like, look, in the past week, we've seen two castles fall. The Big Tigger Castle, and now we're seeing the Marcellus Wiley Castle fall. But the problem with this is this isn't the first time. This man has over 7 alleged assault on from various people of allegations of assaulting females. So apparently it's a trending pattern with this guy, or like, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. It just always seems to come up in situations with domestic abuse. He's somewhere in the picture lurking around. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, we ain't gonna put the Ike Turner stamp on him just yet, but it ain't looking good for Marcellus Wiley. You know, he already, you know, did Stephen A. Smith put the call in? Did Stephen A. Smith
We don't do that.
get tired of hearing Marcellus and Max Kellerman trash them on YouTube to where he just said, enough of this guy, man. I'm gonna drop a dime on him.
Use your common sense.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we ain't gonna do Stephen A. like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, to get to the point, you know, y'all tell me. But, you know, like I said, I know women get hectic. They might slap you. They might push you. They might choke you. They might push your buttons. But you can't put a finger upon the forehead. You can't threaten to kill your wife. You can't do that in front of the children. That's a no-no. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But like I said, man, I did like Marcellus Wiley as a commentator. I think he's a funny guy. But as far as all these allegations, and if there is any bit of truth to that, he's a POS. And you heard it here first. My unbiased opinion based on the facts. All right? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash up the likes, click that notification bell so you stay in the loop, fam. Each and every time I drop one of these videos, so that way you can hang out with your boy Kick It, all right? We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Please do your boy a favor. Help me get on that road to 1K. I appreciate all the support. We're going to keep dropping this news in a funky fly way. And also, this episode is brought to you by Quick Mix Studios. If you need any voiceover, studio time, production, get at your boy, all right? 16-pad killer at machinemafia.com. Gone.